I'm excited. Okay, so who enjoyed becoming? Who enjoyed becoming, y'all? Like who enjoyed becoming? Please drop me some comments and let me know how much you enjoy becoming and how did it shift your mindset? How did it shift the way you work your business? How did it shift your confidence? And if you have not, if you don't know what in the world becoming is, it's okay. There is a playlist on my YouTube page, and your enroller will get you linked to it, or you can just go on there and go look. Just search Rachel Wiggum, and you can go on there and search it and watch it. Yo, it's going to change your whole business, how you approach business. It's going to help you become the professional entrepreneur that you are. Do you hear that? Not that you are becoming, but you're already hurt. And so, man, I'm so excited for you to go back and catch up on that. But we are starting today, week 1 of My Whole Self. And I'm like, Jesus, what you mean, my whole self? Like, people came here to make money. Like, they want to know about making money. And for those of y'all who don't know, I've been here for almost 8 years. I'm almost there. I'm almost there to my 8-year anniversary. And I'm going to tell y'all, listen, I've learned a lot. I've saw many people come and go. And I know that there are certain fundamentals that people need to learn in order to stay. I'm going to tell you, there are certain fundamentals that people need to learn in order to stay. And so today we are going to talk about your whole self. And so the first thing, y'all, that I want us to do is I want you to jot. Actually, let's drop it in the comments. If you have a piece of paper, you can jot it down if you'd like to, but it might be more fun if we drop it in the comments. Drop in the comments what you think it means to be whole. Don't go Google it. Like, what does it mean to you to be whole? Like, what does that even mean? If you don't know, say, girl, I don't even know. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, that's why I'm here today. Like, say, I don't know. What do you feel like it means to be whole? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean to you? I'm going to read some of these. Knowing the Lord and putting him first, humble, still trying to figure it out. I know that's right. Me too, girl. I don't know. Yep. Full healing. Yep. To be whole, maybe to be yourself, being complete in different areas. Yeah. Securing who I am. Yes. I don't know. Yep. That's why I'm here. That's what I'm talking about. Trying to figure it out, having control of my mind. Yep. Yep. To be physically, spiritually, emotionally together. Steps are ordered by him. So yeah, I did some research. Okay. Just like Webster Dictionary, like straight up Webster Dictionary. And this is what the Webster Dictionary says to be whole. The word whole is, this is deep. Like it says an unbroken or undamaged state, an unbroken or undamaged state. It says in one piece. It says complete. It says restored. It says physically, mentally, and emotionally sound. And I was like, really? Like, this is too deep. I'm going to say that one more time. It says in unbroken or undamaged state. That don't mean that you ain't never been broke before. That don't mean that you've never been damaged before. It's an unbroken or undamaged state. It's in one piece. It's complete. It's restored. It's physically, emotionally, and mentally sound. I was like, yo. So how do you become this whole person? How do you, and I'm like, God, what do you want me to say? Because in all honesty, he's the only one that can make you whole. But I want to put some practicality to this because I think a lot of times, and drop a one in the comments if you agree as I say this, like a lot of times we're like, well, God, only God can do it. So what am I ain't got nothing to do with this because only God can do it. Drop a one in the comments if you've ever said that. Drop a one in the comments if you're only God can do this. Like I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't fill the holes. I can't be that made whole. I can't take away the damage. I can't take away the stuff that's happened in my past. Like such victimization and not understanding that you have to have full participation in becoming whole. Full participation in becoming whole. Rachel, I did not sign up for this. Like, boo, I just want to make some money. I'm gonna tell you what, you can make some money if you want to. If you don't become whole or start working towards whole, becoming whole, you're not gonna keep it. Anybody ever this right? Yep. Right on point. Anybody ever had taxes? Drop a 2 in the comments if you've ever got a tax return. How about that? We'll start there. Drop a 2 in the comments if you've ever got a condo on my wrist, girl. I'm cashing out. You be like, I'm rich. Hey, woo! And some of y'all be getting like $8,000 returns. Okay, you got all the kids. Woo! Y'all know what I'm talking about. Tell me how many of y'all got that money still in your bank account? Like you should be rich. Like you get like $5,000 every single year. You should be like just banking that, putting it in the bank, right? I ain't even talking about this year's. I ain't even talking about this year's taxes. Shout out to y'all that got them already, but I wasn't even talking about this year. You've been getting taxes for 10 years, and yeah. And I'm not. This is not shady. Like I ain't even. I'm not being shady at all because this is reality. I know because I used to get them. I used to get them. It's been years since I got them. Praise the Lord. It just means that God has moved me on to something greater. I praise him for that. But I got my taxes and then I used it like it was an emergency, like I was in a state of emergency. Right. So it's like, all right, I'm paying my rent up for 4 months. And then I'm spending $500 on clothes for my kid. And then I'm gonna buy myself something nice. And then I'm going out and I'm kicking it. And then I always wanted this. Can we just all be honest? We're gonna be humble, open, and transparent. Transformation Nation, what's up? Can we drop a comment, a one in the comments and say that's how you handle your taxes? Can we be honest? Drop a one. Like I get it. I get it. Y'all, I get it. I get it. And I think that has a lot to do with our mentality. But God can make us whole. God has already made us whole. We just have to choose to walk in our oneness. We have to choose to walk in our wholeness. We have to view ourselves in a certain way. Like we really do. Because I'm going to tell y'all, you can make as much money as you want to with your works, but you're going to hit the bonus. And then because you're not whole, you're going to have that tax season mentality. Ooh, we got some old heads on here. So today, they're going to drop me in the comments if they've ever made a lot of money and it works and it's not here anymore. Because we humble, open, and transparent. Rachel's made $1 million. I should be debt free. I should be debt free. And so I believe that God allowed me to go through what I went through so that I can make sure that you guys don't. You're gonna make $1 million and you're gonna have 10 stacks in the bank. You're not gonna be concerned. You're gonna be debt free plus 10 stacks in the bank. Okay, that's the whole point, right? The point is not for you to come here to make money for just a moment. You may make money for a moment, but you're going to sustain. You're going to shift your mindset. You're going to get out of the poverty mindset. You're going to be undamaged. You're going to walk in the ability to be undamaged and unbroken because God has made us whole. And so we're going to say today, I'm whole. Drop that in the comments. I'm whole. I'm whole. I'm whole. Actually, don't say I'm whole. I want you to say your name. Rachel is whole. Rachel is whole. I think sometimes we're so disrespectful to ourselves. We're so disrespectful to ourselves. And I think a lot of times we disconnect I'm from who you are. So you might say, I'm hungry. But what if you looked at Rachel from the outside and said, man, Rachel's hungry? Is that different? I'm hungry. Rachel's hungry. A lot of times I've heard this a million times. People say, well, I can see it for you, but I can't see it for myself. Anybody drop a one in the comments if you've ever said that. If you have ever said, I can see it for you,
but I can't see it for somebody else. I can see it for somebody else, but I can't see it for myself. Drop that in one in the comments. Yes. Everybody said that. I've heard it 1,000,000 times, 1,000,001 times. So guess what you're going to do today? You're going to talk about yourself in the third person. So since you can't see it for you, you're going to see it for insert name. Say it again. Drop it in the comments again. Your name is whole. Say it. Your name is Rachel is whole, y'all. Rachel is whole. Rachel is unbroken. Rachel is undamaged. Rachel is restored. Rachel is physically, mentally, and emotionally sound. Rachel is in one piece. Rachel is Y'all can hear me now? We're gonna just rock with this, okay? We're not finna play. It's crazy. I've had it's okay. It's all right. Y'all gonna get this juice today. Y'all gonna get this juice today. Rachel is whole. Rachel is whole. So what is the difference in saying that? I wanna know. How did that feel differently than saying I am whole versus Rachel is whole? How did it feel? What was the difference? When you look at yourself from the outside looking in, opposed to you seeing yourself, like saying, I am. It's more personal. Yes. It's more real. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. It made it real. Yes. And so sometimes we need to take a step back and like look at yourself. Y'all, this was a process for me where I began to heal. Okay. I began to heal when I started to look at Rachel as a person, opposed to me looking at Rachel as me. And that's sad because I mean, it's sad, but you'll eventually merge the two. And so sometimes you have to pull yourself back. And I remember when I started to heal myself of the places that I had been, for the things that I had experienced, and it changed my whole life. I began to take the time. I actually just had the leadership do this at the leadership retreat last year. I began to take the time, and it actually we might have this exercise during this series. I'm just all in God's hands, like He's leading it, He's creating it, all that jazz. But we took the time and we went to pivotal moments in our life, and we looked at that version of ourselves. Are there some versions of yourself that make you feel incongruent and make you feel like, well, that ain't who I am now, but I know I went through that? Or that isn't who Rachel is now, but I know at one point in life that is for real how Rachel was. Do y'all know what I'm saying? Like, can anybody understand that? That's not who I am now, but I have to be honest that is who Rachel is, who Rachel was, right? And so I don't know how honest y'all want to be, but in this moment, my prayer is that God just begins to, that some people just get some woo-sa in this first week. Like, my prayer is that you get a woo-sa, that you get a woo-sa, that you're able to start saying, you know, Rachel was not very good with money. Like, Rachel kind of blew money. Rachel had a condo on her wrist and she was cashing out. Rachel, but I forgive her. Like, I forgive Rachel for doing that. Rachel didn't know no better. Because you can do that for other people, can't you? Yes or yes. Drop it in the comments. Yes or yes. But she didn't know no better. Yes. Yes. And she didn't know no better. She was learning. Like, you could show grace. So I'm gonna need you to show yourself some grace today, because we're looking at insert your name. I didn't know no better. I had a baby I got pregnant in high school. Rachel didn't know no better. Rachel was looking for love in all the wrong places. Right? Rachel used to go out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sometimes Wednesday and Tuesday with a whole baby. Rachel didn't know any better. I came into this business, and Rachel, you can say I, however you gonna do it, whatever's more powerful for you. Rachel came into this business, hypothetically, because I think hypothetically, Rachel came into this business and ignored her enroller. Rachel didn't know no better. She was afraid. She was afraid. She was apprehensive. Can you do that for yourself? And so I'm gonna give everybody 30 seconds. And I want you to think of 3 things, just 3. And I know y'all got a million more than 3. Just 3 things that you know right now, in order to move forward in your business, what you need to forgive yourself for. 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. And if you want to share them in the comments, share them. Share them. But if not, don't share them. 3 things. And I'll go first while you guys are writing down things, because everybody is different. So I'll just say for the last year, right, for myself personally, because I've done a lot of work in this area. Well, actually, I'll just do in general, right? Because if you can extend this grace to yourself, you can extend it to other people. Because when I started to see Rachel as Rachel and not necessarily me, I began not to disconnect, because Rachel is me. I am Rachel. I am Rachel. But I also know that I have permission to grow. I have permission to get better. I have permission to grow. I have permission to get better. And so maybe you need to give yourself permission to grow and permission to get better. That's a big thing when people come into entrepreneurship. It's like, well, I'm this person. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm not a social media influencer. I don't even post on social media. No, Rachel didn't post on social media, but I am a social media influencer. This is how I'm going to feed my family. This is what I've decided to do, right? So, I mean, I could think about even my college. You know, Rachel was more so like, I was there just to get the degree. I wasn't there to learn. I was there to learn so I could get the degree, not because I wanted to learn. If I could just be honest, I was there to get the piece of paper so I could get a job. So I forgive Rachel for not taking her, I forgive Rachel for not taking her school more seriously. Like, I forgive her for that. I forgive Rachel for living for the weekend, because older Rachel lived for the weekend because I created that habit in college. Thirsty Thursdays, okay? Need to be thirsty for the Lord. So write down 3 things. Write down 3 things that you need to forgive yourself for. And it could be events. Something could have happened to you as a child, and you need to forgive yourself for not opening up your mouth and saying something. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive her. Forgive her. Something could have happened to somebody else. Forgive her. Because if you keep holding on to that, you will not be able to extend that same grace to somebody else. And I'm telling y'all that how you do anything is how you do everything. And that includes how you treat yourself. How you treat yourself is how you treat everybody. Okay, so let me tell you guys, as a parent, I started this business as a single mom. Okay, for those of you guys who don't know my story, I was a single mom. My son was 6 years old, and I was actually going through some legal stuff with my son's father, right? I was going through some legalities. You know, we had broke up and went our separate ways, but of course, trying to figure out what even if there is a thing called co-parenting between us, or whatever it is, right? And I had to forgive Rachel. I had to forgive Rachel because I began to and I'm just going to be completely honest. I began to even be frustrated with the fact that Rachel got with this person in the first place. Like, love is blind. Like, boo, and I'm not saying that he's a great person, right? And I choose to believe that. I choose to believe that he's a great person. Even though life happens to people and they may make bad decisions, I choose to look at him as a great person. But I have decided to forgive Rachel because I'm not really, this is a sidebar. So hopefully this is helpful to somebody. I'm not really mad at him. As much as you think you're mad at the other person, if you really take it back, you're really mad at yourself. Because it's like, why am I even here in the first place? Why am I even here? Like, what in the world was I thinking? Which you probably weren't. But you don't have time for that. All you need to do in this moment is forgive her. Forgive him. It's over. Like, that's over. And then you got a whole 6-year-old. you got a whole 6-year-old. You need to just forgive him. And I'm going to tell y'all this business changed my perspective when it came to my parenthood. It gave me freedom to believe that I could take care of my son all together by myself, and everything that his father gave was a blessing. Sorry, we got some technical difficulties with our what's it called? Smoke detector. Everything that he gave was a blessing. Everything that he gave was a blessing. So I decided to take whole responsibility for taking care of my child. Now, does that not mean that several times I had to remind myself that God was going to take care of me, that God was a provider, that God, and I wasn't able to truly focus on my business in full because I was still worried about what this person was going to give me. So forgive yourself today. Forgive yourself. And then know that the person that makes you unbroken, the person that makes you undamaged, the person that puts you back together again, okay? Put you back together again. The person that makes you complete, the person that restores you, the person that helps you be physically, mentally, and emotionally sound, which is a process. It's a process. This business is a process. You do not start on day one and become a millionaire. It took me 5 years of working full time every single day. We take Sabbaths now to become a millionaire. Yeah, I work this business more than I work my full-time job. It took me 5 years. So can it take you 10? And you still be okay with being brave, patient, and consistent so that you can become everything that God designed for you to become, but also so you can walk in the oneness, the wholeness that God decided for you to walk in? Anybody in here, drop a 1 in the comments if you know God made you to be an entrepreneur. Like, God made me to not have a boss. Like, he just, I'm what Mike say, I'm unemployable. Like, I am. I might be employed right now. I might be employed right now because listen, Lord, we got to do what we got to do. But I'm unemployable. Like, I know that there's just so much greater for my life. I know that there's so much more that God has for me to give. It's a lot of y'all. I see y'all. It's a lot of y'all. And if you truly feel that, you're going to have to be okay with going through the process. So I want you to drop in the comments, I commit to the process. That's it. I commit to the process. Drop in the comments, I commit to the process. I commit to the process. And then I want you to drop in the comments, I love the process. 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 Because if you don't fall in love with the process, you won't go through the process gracefully. You'll be in your feelings. You'll be frustrated. You'll allow yourself to stay in a state of agitation. You have to fall in love with the process. So not only are you committed to the process, but you are in love with the process. And then that just brings me right on back to becoming your whole self. As we become our whole self, you are deciding today that I commit to the process and I love the process. And in order to become whole, let's go back through this. It says unbroken, undamaged, one piece, complete, restored, physically, mentally, and emotionally sound. So as you go into this, you have to first acknowledge that I'm broken. I felt that because somebody was like, I like to just act like I'm not broken and then I'm okay. The one who puts on the face, the one who lives life in a state of facade, like you just always got a facade going on. I'm broken. I'm broken. I'm broken. And I'm okay with being broken because my brokenness allows God to come in and be the clay master or whatever you call it and put me back together again. I need God. I need it. Y'all want to know, like, as an ambassador diamond, like those of you guys who don't know and you're new to this, I am an ambassador diamond with It Works. I am the top 1% of the company, right? Number was named at conference as number 56 in the company, income earner in this company. That's crazy. It means only 55 people. The only 55 people above me are making more money than me. That's crazy. To God be the glory, right? Been a top income earning team for almost 7 years. Sorry, again. Almost 7 years, right? So in the midst of all of that, I'm telling y'all, I had to be okay with the fact that I'm really broken and I need God. Why? Because God starts to, you can work your butt off, but I promise you, you won't maintain it or sustain it if you don't give over your issues. Anybody ever, how about this? Drop a one in the comments if you've ever, drop a one in the comments if you have ever bought something that you didn't want to buy. Drop a two in the comments if you've ever done something you didn't want to do. Drop a three in the comments if you've ever been around people that you didn't want to be around and you had the option to leave. Drop a four in the comments if you've ever given someone money that you did not want to give money and the Holy Ghost didn't tell you to give it. Drop a five in the comments if you've ever chose something that was not more important over a bill. I appreciate y'all honesty today, okay? Because we're finna get free. So none of that will change when you start making money. Okay? None of it will change. None of it. None of those things will change. And so we're about to, what Tiffany said, she real country. We fixing to be free. Y'all got to, we are all, including myself, because as much as I've been free, there's so many more layers, y'all, because once you pull off one layer, guess what? It's another one. We onions. Once you pull off another layer, be like, girl, what is wrong with you? Why is there so many doggone layers to me? Why? Because you're how old? You've been putting these layers on for years, and nobody has ever taken the time to put value back into you, right? Nobody has taken the time to see you for everything that you've been through, all the struggles that you went through. And unless you're working with a therapist and have been working with a therapist ever since you was a child, like, there's so many different things inside of you. Yeah, that's my fire to take care of. Hopefully my husband can wait until I'm done. But let's just pause, please, until I'm done, please. Y'all know what I'm saying? So many different layers. Is he on? He's not. All right, I'm back. There's nothing we can do about it. Something happened. So hopefully, y'all pray right now. Pray, turn off in Jesus' name. Lord, help us today. So many different layers, okay? So I want you guys to think about this. And this is all I got. It's just an introduction. Like, today is just an introduction. It's an introduction to deciding that you want to be whole. Because I think that's the first thing. Like, do you want to be whole? Like, do you want to walk into what it looks like to be whole? And so it starts with the commitment. I'm committed to the process. I'm committed to the process, and I love the process. Now, can I tell y'all this? It is not going to feel good. It's 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 not going to feel good. So my question to you is, even when it doesn't feel good, will you still be committed to the process? Will you still be committed to the process even when it doesn't feel good? That's it. So drop a yes in the comments if you will continue. Do not listen. This is almost 100 people on here. I don't want it to be 50 next week because they're like, she talked about too much stuff. Forgive her. Like, I ain't here for none of that. Like, be committed to the process. Be committed to the process. So drop a yes in the comments if you are committed to the process. And no matter how much it hurts, you're going to continue to show up, because I'm going to tell y'all this. What happens is, and y'all, I learned this years ago as I was mentoring people. There are two people in your life, okay? There are people who are going to have a scalpel, and there are people who are going to have a shank, okay? A shank and a scalpel. The shank hurts just like the scalpel hurts. But the scalpel is here to heal you, and the shank is here to hurt you. I am your scalpel. I am your scalpel. And I am here, and it's going to feel the same. Did y'all hear me? It's going to feel the same. But you have to decide that you're going to go through the opening, the incision, to open yourself up, the incision, the cut, and then the surgery, and then the healing process. Believing that what was done inside, once it heals, you'll feel better on the other side, opposed to the shank over here that leaves you damaged on the inside, scar tissue. Okay, so I'm gonna get off here because I know what's going on with my fire detector. But right now, you said you are committed to the process. And so the one thing that I want you to do, walking away from here, okay, you got one piece of homework. One piece of homework. Y'all ready? Who gonna do their homework? Drop a one in the comments. You gonna do the homework. You actually gonna do the homework. Well, we got 10%. Or now look, all these ones, y'all better come back. I'm gonna have y'all hold y'all homework up. Okay. So the first thing, the only homework that you have, y'all, is, y'all ready? I want you to write down 50 things that you need to forgive yourself for. 50. So 50 things that you need to forgive. It may be how you talk to your mama, how you view your mama. It may be you can't stand your daddy. It could be, I don't know, hatred towards your baby daddy. Like, it could be your sister. Like, you one day, I don't know, you might have busted the window out of the car. I don't know who we got on here. But you write 50 things down that you really need to forgive yourself. And some of y'all, it's gonna be a little traumatic, because you're gonna pull up stuff that you suppressed. You forgot it even happened. You forgot it even happened. 50 things. Say yes. Who's down? Say yes. 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 Awesome. So I'm going to put a thread up on the team page, and I want to know, like, what are you most excited about learning during this, or getting free from, right? Getting free from during this series. So I'm going to pray real quick. We're going to hop off here, and y'all pray for my fire alarm, because I don't even know what's going on out there. Y'all pray our strength in the Lord. Hopefully it ain't no fire. Maybe I should be running out of here, huh? Dear Heavenly Father, God, we just love you on today. We honor you. We thank you for making us whole. Like, we're already whole, but God, thank you for the courage to walk in our wholeness and walk towards the mark that you've called us to. God, we thank you for freedom. We thank you for sending your son so that we could be free. And so now, God, help us to walk in that freedom. God, thank you for the practical tools that you are giving us as we walk towards the mark. God, we thank you for how you are healing the scars of the things that we've been through, how you are shifting perspectives so that we can actually see things as how you desire us to see them. God, we thank you for a great circle. We thank you for the circle of this money squad, and having a place where we can heal, where we can grow, where we can be better, where we can do better, where we can want better and be okay with wanting better. God, we thank you for the lives that we are going to touch, because you made us whole and we decided that we're going to walk in our wholeness. And so, God, today I ask that you cover them as they go through these 50 names. As they go through these 50 things, God, I ask that you, every time something comes up, that you help comfort and console them as they are going through these different things that they have decided to forgive her for, that they've decided to forgive him for, God. And I just even thank you for the perspective of loving ourselves and looking at ourselves by our name, opposed to saying I am, because we know you'll eventually merge the two together. But God, we thank you for even that ability to see ourselves as a human being, to see ourselves as somebody who needs to be loved, encouraged, uplifted, even cheered on, God. And so we are going to become our biggest cheerleader throughout this series. And so we just praise you in advance, and we love you, we adore you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Guys, don't forget, we have an open office from 3 to 5, but you should have already texted your enroller to set your time for your check-in, right? Text them right now if you have it. Be obedient, and I'll see you guys next week.